How you doing? Pat here at Pat's Rides. Today we are going to do the 6,000 mile oil change maintenance. This will be my first time doing it on any BMW, much less my GSA, and I'll be using the GS911 tool and laptop software for the first time ever to reset the service reminder. So stick around, stay tuned, and let's see how easy and or hard this could be. We are going to have to start the job by removing these 5 T30 screws from the skid plate as seen here. While you've got all this apart, it's a good time to go ahead and clean it up. You'll need these tools to loosen the filler cap, and in case you don't know, never undo a drain plug unless you know you can take the filler cap off first. Always take the filler cap off first. If nothing else, it helps air get in to help the oil or whatever fluid you're draining, but also it means you can actually refill it when you're done. And then for leverage, you put the torque side through. It only goes through properly one way, as you can see here. Then you should be able to get the leverage to turn. Wow, it's tight. There, it just broke free. And no, I haven't warmed the bike up or anything yet. I'm just making sure. I'll snug it back down. I'll get the bike warmed up. We'll get that pulled off. Then we'll get the drain plug out. All right, let's get the fill cap off now that the engine's warmed up. And put the cap someplace where it won't get dirty and you won't lose it. Plastic, yuck. All right, let's get the drain plug out. It is a T35. This is going to be a little warm. And make sure you clean off the drain plug and put on a new crush gasket. And when you put it back in, torque it to the proper spec. And no, I won't talk about specs, just in case I make a mistake. I don't mislead you that way. It'll still look really good coming out, nice and clean still. There's nothing on the magnet. I don't know if that'll show up or not. That's a good thing. You don't want metal shavings in your oil. Me personally, I like to let the oil drain for quite some time before I even mess with the oil filter. That has to be the tightest oil filter I've ever loosened. This foil helps the oil miss the pipe and drain into the pan. And then while we wait for that to drain, I'm going to go ahead and put the drain plug with a new crush washer back in. Alright, then you want to wipe all this off and get it clean. Remember to lube the gasket of your new filter. I prefer to use brand new oil, not old oil, just in case. That way I don't get any contaminants. I always hand tighten first, then I come back and use the wrench and tighten it up to the proper spec. Okay, once all that's back on and torqued down, I give everything a final weight down. Then it's just a matter of putting the oil back in, and I don't think you really need to see that done. We'll be back in a little bit with the laptop and the GS911 tool. Alright, while the bike is warming up, we check for leaks. I see none so far. Okay, let's get to the port for the GS911. We got to get this cover off. That's a T25 screw. You don't need to see me unscrew this, do you? Alright, try to do this one-handed. There's a little clip back in here that kind of holds everything together. And by the way, that's hot. So I'm going to need both hands free to get that pulled out. But anyway, if you can see that little clip right below the red piece. And then if you can see that little groove right there, that's where this slides in. And you've got your port out here. And we'll be back once I go get everything. Alright, let me try to do this one-handed here. See these tabs? You got one on either side. You got to push them in. Now granted, I already loosened it just to make it easier, but that's how you get to it. Connecting the GS911 is like connecting anything else to your car, except you just plug in the USB cable up to your laptop, and then you go ahead and fire up your software. Okay, as I get started here with firing up the GS911 software and doing the screen capture with my laptop, sorry for the lack of clarity. First time I'd ever used a screen capture on my laptop, so it didn't come out as clear as I would have liked it to, but I think it's clear enough. You get the idea of what's going on. After powering the bike on, I'm running the auto scan feature here to see what the software comes up with. Scrolling through here, you can see the fault codes from where I dropped the bike if you happen to watch the beamer down video. If not, you might want to. It's kind of a neat video. Then before I clear anything, I'm going to go ahead and save this page so I have it for future reference. Here I selected my 1250 Adventure, and now this is where the experimentation begins. I really have no idea at this point where to find the menu system to reset the service reminder for the bike. Here I have to add the VIN to the software so it can keep track of how many VINs I'm using. Here I'm starting to figure out where I've got to go. Hit the back arrow, try to find the right menu, go down to Special Functions, Reset Reminder. That's where I finally found it. It took a bit of doing, but I got there. Then you can see it automatically comes up with a new date and a new mileage based on the bike's computer. It's kind of cool. There you see it. I've got it reset to today's date. 1 year from now, or 6,000 more miles. Hope you liked this video. If you got anything out of it, give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. This is the first time I've changed my own oil on the BMW using the GS911 and everything else. So I learned a lot too. If there's any helpful comments you could give me, please put them in the comments below. And thanks again. We'll see you in the next video.